The next thing Sarah did is after having the conversation is then she started addressing some of the issues that were happening one-on-one, but she brought the TKI model to a meeting. And she talked about what each of these steps were. So she talked about what it meant to have a collaborative approach to problem solving and working through conflict. She talked about what it meant to be competing versus accommodating and some of the downfalls of avoiding, and helped the team really understand where they fit on the chart, where they felt the team fit on the chart most often rather, and just gave them some context and common language they could use when resolving conflict. Because often if we are competing or we are accommodating, like we're not thinking through what our conflict resolution style is. We just have this thing that's important to us that we use as kind of a lens when we're making decisions. So by having this context and helping people understand there are different ways to approach conflict resolution, they were able to be more intentional in how they did it moving forward. They had this common vocabulary, but it also increased their awareness on what their actions were and some of the potential downfalls of their actions as well. Again, people are having the best intentions. It's just sometimes there's a lack of awareness on how their actions are actually impacting the team. So Sarah started out individual conversations, then she moved to a conversation introducing the concepts of TKI, and then started having the follow-up conversation. So now that the team has this common language that they're using, when conflict arose, and especially in one-on-one conversations, she was able to bring this vocabulary back to the conversation. So when things were happening, she was able to talk through and ask her team, like, what style are we using right now? Is this the best style for this approach? What would be a different approach? And just having that framework allowed the team to have a better context and understanding what they could do to actually resolve conflict and be more effective in that. It also helped create open dialogue, where now people were aware that there was conflict. They realized everybody kind of felt that this conflict was happening, but it wasn't getting taken care of. And she did a good job of setting specific goals for the team, giving the team something to rally behind. So now instead of these one-off conflicts, we need to keep everybody focused on the goal. Things that are getting in the way of the goal, that's when we need to have conversations with the team and rally around what can we do to keep moving forward, because we all are aligned that this is most important to us. We just need to figure out how can we get there. So by establishing a clear goal, it helps the team stay focused on this target as opposed to coming to work and only being focused on these little things that are happening that are annoying or creating a distraction. So giving them the target was another big piece that Sarah did well in helping resolve conflict and creating a place where people were able to be collaborative. Something else that I love that she did, I want to call out, is develop realistic and relevant conflict scenarios tailored to the team's work context. So as a follow-up activity, what she would actually do is she would create different scenarios and give the team a chance to discuss what should we do when this happens. These scenarios were definitely close to the things they were experienced, but not exactly. They were hypothetical situations, but it gave the team a chance to rally around the concept and the idea as opposed to pointing fingers. So these conversations weren't about who's doing what wrong. It's about, hey, this thing happens on the team. If this happened in our team, what should we do to approach this? So the team was now bought in and invested in creating and collaborating, right? Right now they're collaborating in this workshop, but they're collaborating, creating a framework for when conflict comes up. So in one of the follow-up workshops that she did, they actually left with a roadmap of, here's what we'll do when conflict happens on our team. Everybody was bought into it because they helped create it. She had already taken the steps individually to have the conversations. She was addressing some of the issues that were brought up, so she was developing trust there. And now she's working to help the team collaborate, where she's seeing trust happen within the team. So starting with individual conversations, getting to know people, being empathetic, following up, doing what she says she'll do. So now she's developing trust with the team, but then taking the next step and helping the team develop trust within each other, within themselves. By introducing this framework, this context, so there's a common language that she was able to introduce, having follow-up one-on-one conversations again with the team to answer their questions and see where they felt they were at with the different conflict styles. And then follow-up activities where now they're actually workshopping and they're working through how to collaborate in dealing with conflict effectively.
do the bullet. Bullet. Do the bullet. Bullet. Do the boom.